Hello, Kansas City. Welcome to another fun day out there. I hope you're having a great one. My name is Chris Odam. I'm one of the lucky hosts of this show that we created in Kansas City Public Schools called Life After, where we revisit the stories of some of our past graduates and find out what's been going on with them since they left high school, hence the name Life After. I'm joined today by an awesome person and one of our team members in Kansas City Public Schools. So that's especially important, a fellow educator on the line. She and I were not classmates, I was not her teacher, but I just spoke to someone who was her vice principal. Shout out to Dr. Daryl Davis, who works here in the BOE along with myself. And we got a chance to mention that I was going to talk to Phyllis today, and he was very excited and said, "Oh my gosh, I remember her from when she was in school." So welcome, Phyllis Jones.
Thank you. Thank you. So I graduated in 2006 from Central High School.
What do you remember about that experience? Like, what did you take away that you might still value about, you said 2006, right?
2006.
Central Eagles. All right.
Right. There go the Eagles. I love the Eagles. What I remember is I was a special ed student here in the district. I remember just striving to get to the next level. I struggled a lot with learning. So I had to create like I had to put people in place to try to help me find people who had the best interest of my heart. I remember when I graduated, I remember when I told my mom, I was like, "Mom, I want to go to college. I don't know what I want to go for, but I want to go to college." And I remember her facial expression like, "What?" Because it's not normal that, a lot of special education kids want to go to college. So I told her, well, it's going to take me 10 years. So I started digging, looking for looking for schools, and I came across Penn Valley. Penn Valley had an ABLE program that helped students with disability. So I talked to my former teacher, which he's still the teacher over at Central High School.
Who's that?
It was like, "Hey, this is what I want to do. I don't know what I want to go into, but this is what I want to do." So we got the information. I had to get retested, follow all the procedures. So I finally got accepted into this program. I took all remedial classes. I had to start from the bottom and work my way up. It was extremely hard, but I got through it. I took some classes twice, but I got through it. After that, ended up going to Avila. I got my associates in general education, my associate's arts, and then I ended up going to Avila and got a bachelor's in healthcare management. So after I graduated, that's when I came back to KCPS to be a parent. So in 2016, 2017, I had a chance to go back to Central High School to be a para, which that was the classroom where I was in special ed in. So I had an opportunity to go back and, and just kind of feel like what, kind of going back to see, like, this is where I left off. And I started thinking like, I need to do something more, a little bit more to try to help students. Because I was blessed to have a mom and dad. They always checked up on me no matter what I did. They were always there. So it was like, I need to put something in place. I need to be there for students who's going through the same thing what I'm going through. They need a voice. So I decided to go into counseling. So I'm not at the high school. I'm currently a counselor at Melcher Elementary School, one of our K through 6 schools. But it was, it was just a blessing to go back and share my experience, the same thing what they're going through.
Mm-hmm. That's wonderful, and an exciting kind of narrative of how you discovered that was your goal. And maybe it's really rich that a lot of the experience translated from when you were younger and you wanted to kind of be part of that again.
Right. And it's amazing to see, like, a lot of the teachers that were here when I was going to school. It's just it's a great experience to see that they're still here and they're able to see me grow. Mm-hmm. And I'm doing the same thing with my students. Like, I'm able to see them grow, so it's just a thing that repeats itself.
It's very true. It's really neat. It's a really good reason to be in the field too. And it's really rewarding to hear your story, because
it is. And I love every bit of it. I do.
It's wonderful. Well,
to be able to connect with the students is fantastic. I love it.
Fantastic. And there's no secret that we need more people to pursue this field who have that same reason for doing so, right? That's the deepest part of coming in. You have to have that deep reason. Do you remember where you felt that reason for the first time, or has it always been there?
When I was after I got my associate's degree, because I worked really hard to get that associate's degree. And I said to myself, there are kids out here that deserve the same opportunity as you. Mm-hmm. So that's why I said, I got to do something. I got to do something. And I thought about, I ended up getting a degree in healthcare management, which I always worked with. I worked with kids. Like, I started out working in early childhood, and which that was good. But then as I went as I came to KCPS, I'm like, I got to do something better. I got to do something a little bit more than a para. I love being a para. I do. I love being a para, and I love being part of the special ed department. But I just felt like there are kids out here that deserve the same opportunity like me. And a lot of them don't have the same support like I had. And still to today, I still have a lot of support. Like, I can call Dr. Davis. I can call teachers I had in the past, and and chit chat with them, and they can give me advice. But there's a lot of kids out here that don't have that. Mm-hmm. So my goal is to be a voice to those kids.
It's fantastic. And you are right now at the moment, because you're also serving as a really great example. I can see your smile, and you're fulfilled by telling us about what you're doing. I think that's really what we want for all the people we work with, to feel fulfilled, feel your purpose, and feel powerful. Right. That's really fantastic. So all those things said, what are you going to do next? Are you setting goals that come after this? Do you have a plan? Are you thinking that far ahead yet? Or are you just kind of rolling with right now?
My goal is to try to help more special education students. I know college is not for everybody, but there are programs out here that that they can go through to try to help them get employment. And a lot of them, it's just scared, and parents is scared. They don't know. They want the best for their child, and they don't know how to get there. Let's just say that they don't know how to get there. And with me being a perfect example, I think maybe a lot of people would feel a little bit more comfortable. Mm-hmm. If I advocate for them. And that's something that I want to do. I would love to see as many special education kids that graduate from KCPS with a job or something to start out with, and just keep going.
I'm hearing the leader in there, right? Like,
right. I started
somebody listening. You hear the same leader that I hear right now. Let's get Phyllis in that role somewhere. But so yeah, keep looking for that role, because I totally agree with you. And working for as long as I did at Paseo, I had so many students that felt more attracted to being included in my class than being
Right,
down the hallway, you know. And
right,
I think opportunities, as far as what you thought of what you wanted to do,
right,
started to change as people
right,
got older. And I don't
right,
think we always think of it that way when we think of
right,
special education. So,
right. And believe it or not, I started out in high school. I remember in April of 2006, I started out sacking groceries. And I did that from 2006 to 2015.
yeah,
So I mean it's just I just feel like they need a start.
yeah,
You know, you don't have to keep it, but you have to start somewhere,
good point.
you know.
Good point. So that's starting to sound like our final thought for the day, which is what we generally ask guests after we've heard all their wisdom and all their power of what moves they've made and how they've grown successful, to give us a little glimmer of some wisdom or some advice. Is there something you heard back then or something you tell yourself now that other people would benefit from hearing?
Um, just don't give up. It Things get hard, and anything that comes easy is not good. That's what I was always told.
That's a big one.
Work hard. Work hard. Even if it just take you years to do it, work hard. It took me a long time to get out of college.
Mm.
You know, I'm a third year counselor. So and it wasn't easy. You know, you just have to find something that you're good at and keep going.
Mm-hmm. Very good.
Just keep going. No matter what gets in your way, just keep going.
Fantastic. Well, you've heard it here today, folks. If you've been listening, and I know you have, to Phyllis's awesome story, you can see her smile and understand kind of what it must feel like right now while we're all listening to her story. And if you want to be part of this same process, generally it's been pretty positive for all the people I've talked to. If you're considering it or you're thinking, no, I don't know, just think of all the people that might watch and understand their opportunities based on what you've done, or what doors or windows you might allow them to peek through that they haven't had a chance to think about. Being a school counselor sounds like a cool job. Being an educator sounds like a cool job. I would testify that it certainly is, and it gets more and more rich and meaningful as you keep going, because the people grow up and you learn about what they're doing with their lives thanks to this show. And so if you're interested, get a hold of me. I'm Chris Odam. This show is called Life After, and it's featured quite often, and also again on our Facebook channel and our YouTube channel. So if you're looking for these from past episodes, you can just Google Life After, or Life After KCPS is also a past way to find it. And you'll find lots of these episodes. You might even find some people that you remember from your school experience. Thank you, Phyllis, for being here. It's been a totally awesome interview. I'm
Thank you.
excited about what you're doing here in our district, and really, really proud, I would say, even though I had nothing to do with it, with all the way that you pushed to keep going and keep powering through to get where you wanted to be. So thank you for being such a good example in that way, and then coming on to tell us your story. If you like this show, get a hold of me. Adios.